is 999 ASMR Tarot, and we are going to do some crafting and painting this afternoon. It is like 2:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm going to be hanging out here for about an hour, more or less, trying to get a few things done. We're going to do some prep work for Saturday's paint night, and we're going to start first by doing a little bit of painting on this mask. And if you recall, I did this one about exactly a week ago, and with paper mache. I made up some more paper mache so we can try, if there's enough time, to make a second paper mache mask. But one of the things we are going to do is I'm going to do an experiment, and we'll see how that works by affixing paper mache strips to a canvas. So without much further ado, I'm going to get painting here. One thing I did learn was that paper mache glue needs help before paint will really affix to it. So I added gesso to this one yesterday and the day before, a couple coats, and so hopefully it will take the paint better. So you can hear that it's got a lot more teeth to it, and that should help it be a little bit more absorbent for the paint. And so without much further ado, we're going to do a little bit of paint in here. And so I finished painting one of these masks just the other day, and this is the first completed mask. Now I used rancid paper mache glue paste to make it, and so I had to add some varnish and so forth on it to take the smell away. So I also learned in that experiment is that you can keep the paper mache paste in the refrigerator to upwards of a week, so they say. So we're going to try that. Copper. Gold. Right now we're just going to be putting our paints out before we begin the painting the mask. I'm going to paint first and paper mache second. And another color is this yellow oxide. That yellow oxide is really nice when it mixes with blue. Makes a nice color. So we're doing some primaries and some non, and so titanium white. We'll probably be using mostly titanium white just to tone everything down. And phthalo blue. Let's see if we can get this out of here. The phone just rang. Hopefully somebody else will get the phone, because I'm not going to get it. Hopefully it's not for me, and I'm going to have to pause here. And a little bit of black. A little black. And a tad bit of red. I'm just going to put that right over here. I don't really need too much red. Just a tad bit. We want to get a lot of happy colors here. So exactly what we're going to be doing is, I have no idea, but we're going to just figure it out right now. And so this is the mask. I made this a week ago out of paper mache. It's more of a sculpture than a mask, but nevertheless. So I need a brush now. A good brush to use. I think I'll use this one here. And hopefully the gesso that I laid on it will hold the paint much better than what I did before. So, you know, it's an experiment. It's a process here. We're kind of going through processes. But I think I want to, you know, we'll just start with some white. See how that goes. We're just going to put it in this circle here. I may punch holes in this mask and have eye slits, but I'm really only going to do that if I win the lottery, and then I'll wear this when I accept my $2 million check, which I know is going to happen soon, you know. So let's just take some of this blue over here. And we're going to mix it down, a little water. Maybe I want to put the water over here so you can actually see that I have water that I'm dealing with. And add some water to it. And we're going to mix some of this yellow oxide to it. Oh, that's the gold. That's right. And maybe a little bit more of this titanium white here to tone it down. Yeah, that makes kind of a nice blue greenish color here. And if you're still finding the stream interesting, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I usually do a paint night on either Friday or Saturday night. This Friday, I'm going to be divining lottery numbers for July for the Oregon State Lottery, the Mega Bucks, and the Mega Millions. So I was, thus far in my divining of lottery numbers, I have gotten 3 out of 6 right. So that's pretty successful. So maybe we will take, let's just clean this brush off, or we'll just go use a different brush for different colors, because I got a lot of brushes here. So we'll use this one here. And I want to do something with some more purpley tones. So I'm going to take this red here. We're going to mix it with some of this happy blue. The birds are chirping right outside my window here. There's a nest just 20 feet away, and nesting in a little birdhouse, and they've just been chirping up a storm lately. So we want to add some more red. And now it's a dark purple. But we need to tone this down a lot. So we got to add some more white to it. Hello, Carmel from France. I am painting a paper mache mask. I made a mask. That's what I'm painting here. So the eye holes might go here, but it's just some random abstract painting. Just colors. Happy colors. So what time is it in France right now? So you are advanced by 10 hours, right? Is it 10 hours different between the Pacific Coast time and in France time, because it's like 3 p.m. here, so that would be 3, that's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that like, okay, 11:50, so it's 11, that's, yeah, okay, 11:50, so almost midnight. Okay, look, now we got a nice purpley color. I'm gonna put that right in here. And as you can see, adding gesso onto this surface was totally the right thing to do. And I'm going to add more white. So we can have it more of a different sort of So can you hear the chirping birds? Nika? Yeah. It makes a nice, better atmosphere than does the phone ringing does. Or the TV on in the other room. We'll just add... Hi, Care Bear. Yes, I am. I'm trying different things. It's that... trying different times, Karen. Mainly, I wanted to watch. I wanted to talk to a buddy tonight on the telephone. Plus, I got to get up early for do my my caregiving duties of being a driver. I'm just gonna put this color all the way around here. So, how's your new job, Care Bear? Yeah. Are you working from home, or are you working in an office someplace? We can just blend the colors right on. It's really, at this point in time, there's nothing exciting about this mask. But you know, when I started this one, it was totally not exciting either. It just, after about 90 minutes, it turned into this. But I don't want to spend that much time on it. I'm going to be going at this like the Chariot. And because I want to do... Oh, Care Bear left? Maybe. She might have just popped in for a second. Okay. All right. Well. Oh, so you're taking it. You're taking an unofficial day off to take care of your kids. Okay. Well, that happens. Oh, and you have a sinus infection. Yeah. Isn't that the... So I want to... What happens if we mix this together? It makes a nice green. So you still liking your job? This is like the color of mud. Let's see if we add a little copper to it. This copper is really old. Maybe it's not going to work very well. So now I put in this other color, which looks like the color of mud. But that's okay. you know, it's just because this is just all about self-care, relaxation, and it's not about, you know, trying to create a masterpiece on the first time. It's okay, good, good. Not a stressful job. Well, that's great. Those are the best kind. I'm going to take some of this yellow oxide and just roll it straight directly onto here. I'm going to make this more browny, more color of the earth. Kind of like that. Looks like that olive green that they used to paint like military vehicles and so forth. Yeah, you know that's right. That's exactly what that looks like. Oh, I painted over those words, those nice words. Oh, Camilla's leaving. Okay, Camilla, thanks for dropping in for just a short time. Thank you very much. I really appreciated that. I'll be coming back, doing more painting on Saturday night at, I don't know, around midnight my time, maybe 11:30, if I can get away with it. All right. Okay, let's come back. What about this spot? What color should this spot be, Karen? Was that periwinkle? Is this the color you like? Is that what periwinkle is, or is it this? This or this? Which one is periwinkle? I really don't know what that color is. You know, after all, I'm just a dumb man, and all right, let's get moving here. I think I want to do. Let's take this brush out. It's a lighter blue, so this over here is the periwinkle. Okay. I'm going to put this in here. A little bit more water in it. Maybe like a target here. You know, I really don't know. We'll find out. It is an abstract painted mask. I made this out of paper mache last week. So what this is that when I win the lottery, Karen, that because Oregon has a rule where you kind of have to go on camera to accept the um, money, the monies, and so when I win the lottery, I'm gonna go with a mask on, and I'm gonna go with a mask of my own design. So that's what I'm working on. This is my lottery acceptance map. My lottery acceptance map. mask. Yes, yes, that's right. Because you to try to maintain anonymousness. I know that I'm not the only person in this state that has my name. So, but I'm pretty much the only person in this state that has this name attached to this face. Kind of like a target here. Yep, I know I'm going to win any day now. Of course, I've been saying that since 2000. I did win a free ticket, though, a couple free tickets on numbers that I divined this month. So, that we're going to go in and maybe make some other color and put it in here. I think I want a color that's more like the sea. I think what I'm going to do first is take and put a new... Well, some states allow you to go up anonymous, but like, for instance, there was a Powerball winner from the state of Oregon for the first time. There for the first time, I think, ever, and that gentleman went up on camera. But I think that he was happy to do so. If I had a more sensitive microphone, you could just hear the sound of this brush on the gesso. To me, it's pretty loud. But then here I am. I'm random chatty guy. And then we will come with another little brush, maybe this one here. Maybe I will do a black spot right here. Right on the on the forehead. Yeah, exactly. You know, if you don't want to tell anybody, it kind of defeats the purpose, because, maybe you don't want your family to know, your extended family to know. So you want to keep it all secret. I'm going to go in Yeah. Yeah, it's putting a target on your back. I think I'm going to change the color of this army green region. Just lay this copper in on it. Actually, that's really pasty. I think that I'm off camera here. Kind of breaking on there like snow. A little bit more water. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, yeah. You know, especially like I got this new release deck of cards. And this is what the Wheel of Fortune looks like in this. The Wheel of Fortune. Now that's kind of more like a, looks like the color of the earth. Kind of an earthy tone. I'll put this down in here too. Yeah. But the cards, however, are sticky. Is there like some kind of a trick you can do to make cards unsticky? The pupil, you mean this? Blue? Well, the eye slits would go right about here. So maybe I'll come and do that right in here. And then over here. Okay. Is there like a DIY household remedy? It would be like cornstarch or something? And it's something that wouldn't be abrasive to the surface? Or is it something like you just like, oh, Jeff is here. Well, thank you, Jeff, for popping in right now. Sorry, seemed to have So don't ask me what I'm painting, Jeff. But but I am painting a. Was a paper mache mask, and I did a complete one the other night, which is like that. It looks like a monkey actually. It looks like an ape face. Yeah. Maybe we'll come over here, add a little bit more of this gold to it. A little more of this. I need to work on my Bob Ross voice. So right now we're just loading that brush up. Loading it up. Load it up. Load it up with color, and we're going to just brush it right across the surface. But what if I came back in over here, took this blue here, went up a dark shade here. Sorry that you don't feel very well and your kids and all that, but that's ear infections and sinus infections. And the saving grace of getting older is you get fewer of those things. Yeah, they do. I remember being a kid and it seemed like I was sick. Like every other week I was sick with something. I'm gonna come in here. I think I'm just gonna pull this red and make the tip of the red nose. Gonna have this red nose here. Gonna have some solid colors. Maybe it comes down like this. So it kind of is like a keyhole. A little bit of detailing it here. I don't know. I need that brush. No, not that brush. This one here. Yes, that's the artist decoded. Yes, that was the very first thing I noticed is the cards were sticky. It is quite annoying that they are sticky, you know, for the amount of money that you pay for them. Hopefully that is something they will remedy. It must be something in the production process. Keyhole. It almost reminds me of like a flag, a Japanese flag or something. Coming down here. Okay, yeah. I mean, I have another deck that has. I have actually have two other decks that have sticky cards. Those were more novelty decks, and they did a. I feel like they were like really rushed production jobs. Well, I do actually prefer the mini decks because the mini decks have they usually have like the thinner cards that are easier to um, that they're easier to manipulate. You know, they're thinner, easier to shuffle. It's just all around um, easier to handle. They fit in your hand. Now, granted, this mini deck is pure novelty, and this one is almost impossible to shuffle. But you know, I love it. Actually, the colors in this universal weight are fantastic. I mean, they're which makes me want to have a larger size one. Yeah. Oh, no, it was not what I. Well, that's fine. We grab some red into that black. Kind of some borders here. Give it some. It does kind of look like a keyhole, maybe. Maybe it's a stand. I don't know. You know, it doesn't really matter what it is, does it? The important thing is the doing. When you're doing self-care. The doing is the most important thing. What? This would be great for your tiny little hands. Actually, I've figured out how to. You got to treat those more like dice. You can't exactly, you can't shuffle them at all. So it's not. I'm gonna do some more color changes here. Can you hear the birds outside? Well, thank you. And when I put some varnish on it later, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I did. I ended up grabbing some more black. I guess it needs some more black here. It's almost like a fan to help cool you off. I'm going to pull that paint out of there. I'm going to go grab the white next. And then I'm going to wrap this thing up here within the next 3 minutes and move on to the next thing. And I have some paper mache paste all made up. And I'm going to use the remainder of my 90 minutes. Oh yeah. I can barely hear them too, so they're not chirping now, but what I'll probably do with this is that on Saturday paint night, I will maybe come and do a second coat of paint over this just to see if yeah, or I might just do that on my own. Just to take care of some of these regions and to see what I can do to make them less of a disaster piece. And do another coat of white. So I'm going to come in with this color here. I think I want to go over the purpley tones here. Bring in a little bit of a shine to it. Yeah, that gets a more of a sea-like color. I like that. have an idea for what to do with that, but I'm going to do that idea later. But I'm going to do one more coat in here of that, and then we're going to call this stage of the crafting project over. I'm going to clean the brushes. Since I'm not immediately going to be jumping up and washing my brushes, we got to do this right now before I have ruined brushes before by not washing them, and okay. I'm going to take this one. Now, coming back into here, we got the white, we got this. It's kind of like a raspberry color. Yeah, sort of raspberry-ish. Uh-oh, got too much white in it. Kind of swirls around. Mm-hmm. Mix a little allulose with your raspberry smoothie. Supposedly it acts like an appetite suppressant. And since everybody in our world is susceptible to diabetes, and one's never too young to make those changes, but they're so hard to do. I got put on medications to control pre-diabetes because my A1C was getting really close to the diabetic range. And I worry that it has gone over. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I hardly ever drink my calories. I did once. I was young when I was younger. I was drinking my calories, and there was a co-worker, a beautiful lady, and I actually wrote a poem about her. I don't know whatever became of her, but it was just one of those situations, like always is, where I like people who are emotionally unavailable, either with some other man or they're lesbian or something like that, which is the biggest reason why I gave up on romance, because was always choosing the same person. There we go. There's my initial thing here. I am going to just move on to the next thing. Maybe just a little bit this black right here. You know, it's kind of like sometimes painting is just like trying to get kids out of the pool. It's one more minute. One more minute. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes these crafting, this painting is like, you know, getting kids out of the pool and getting old people off of slot machines is really hard. Or any person, actually, for that matter. Okay, so we're going to go move on to this next stage. I'm going to just take this and move it aside so I can get some more space. And let's just clean that off. I might use that water. And so I have in here paper mache paste. It's already started to separate. I hope it works. One of the instructions said to add a little cinnamon to it. Usually it's just equal parts water and flour and just a little bit of salt. Are you heading out too now, Care Bear? But anyways, what I'm going to do is, because we have this effect on this mask here where the paper has stuck to the form. This is how I use something like this to make my mask. And I'm going to stick some of this paper right down onto here. Maybe I'll put more onto it and then peel some of it off to see how much of it sticks and stays behind, and then what kind of patterns I can get from it. So we're going to try that on a canvas here. So I need to open up the canvas then. All right. Thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes anyways. I really appreciated that. I was kind of wondering how you were doing and all. And I mean, I've seen your more recent video, but I was just, you know, anyways, you know how it is. I'm going to be on for about another half hour, probably 45 minutes. Then I got to go do some more chores. I can't while away the whole afternoon crafting, and I'd like to be able to, but I have bone broth brewing away in the crock pot. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here. So now, this is the prep work for Saturday's painting session. I need some more space here. I'm running out of space. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I learned how to cook when I was like 8 or 9 years old. I may have been like 7, but I've been cooking since I was like 9. And so that's like the first art I learned is how to cook. And I'm an experimental cook too, so I do a lot of experimentation. So we're going to I'm going to soak some of this stuff up. It's really not bone broth. It was a leg of lamb roast that I got from the food bank on Friday, and I had some of it last night, and I just decided it needed to cook longer, but now I ended up cooking it overnight, and I got to get some. And so now it's bone broth and broth. It's just a rich broth. And I'm gonna put this stuff in here. I hope that I have enough paper towels here. Anyways, you take care of yourself, Karen. We'll see you the next time. I'm going to sit this stuff in here and soak. We'll see what kind of interesting textures and words will come out of it. And hopefully I will get a really nice abstract painting started on paint night, Saturday night. And we're going to have to do a show together, Karen. Maybe sometime if one of those Saturday, Sunday write labs or kind of a write with me thing. That would be nice if we could do that before summer is over with. And bye-bye. Oh, we're down to 0 now. Okay. I'll just put this guy back here later. Oh shoot, that got on some of my clothes. Wonderful. I think I'm going to do some of this. So what we're doing now is we're texturing this piece of canvas to see what kind of a modern art disaster piece I can come up with next Saturday night, or this Saturday actually. So that'll be like a couple days before July. I think I want to run that onto Arts and Chow. I'm going to run some of this stuff and just pull it off. We'll see how that works too. The newspaper is nice because it has words and all that, and I gotta take this stuff out of my clothing drawer. My craft table is in my bedroom. Birds are chirping outside the window. And it's not too hot, it's like 85 degrees. But there are children playing and swimming in the distance. Or at least they were. This is going to have some really interesting textures to it. It doesn't like to tear that way. Huh. Interesting. Hopefully it sticks. You know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't. We can just start over. You can use this canvas for something else. I can prime it, reprime it again with gesso. I'm going to probably tear off half of this stuff. And so now I'm going to move on to working on a new mask, a new face sculpture actually. Let's take that off. And we need to put this aside. Where in the hell am I going to put it at? Maybe we can just set it right here for now. Okay. Now, the mistakes I made the last time I did a mask is I'm going to do it in this little box so that I don't get too much of the paper mache paste onto, but I'm going to take a glove here. We'll put this glove on. And I'm going to add some grease onto the surface so that there are areas that I don't want to, the paper mache to stick to. So we're going to add some Vaseline. This will be good for a short later. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yeah. Who doesn't like Vaseline? Nice Vaseline, huh? Put that in here. Prepping the surface. Around here. I don't think I want it to stick here. We'll see what this does. Supposedly, when you're doing paper mache like this, you're supposed to grease the surface. So it makes your mask or your thing easier to pull it off. So Now I don't want to grease up the whole surface. I just want to grease up part of it because I want some of these textures to remain. But eventually I am going to paint this mask too. And all this paper on here will make interesting textures, providing I can get the grease off. Finger grease. Okay, there we go. We will see what happens. A little Vaseline, huh? Okay, we'll put that aside. What I'm going to start by doing is we have my paper mache paste. This is real ASMR-y. It doesn't get more goopy. Granted, you don't get the sounds, but that's okay. We're just crafting the day. Well, hi, Z. How are you doing? Have you... Welcome to crafting the day away. Making a paper mache sculpture. A paper mache sculpture. I'm going to take a whole chunk of this, and so we did some painting earlier, and then right before I started this, I did some prep work for paint night this Saturday night. I don't know if it's going to work, but anyways, we're going to just give it a try. But I'm going to take this whole piece and lay it down here to give it more structure. Maybe we're going to bring it up off of the chin like this. So it comes up over here. It does look really gross. I get that. It only looks gross if you are a 13-year-old. Actually, it looks gross all the time. But nevertheless, 13-year-olds have a different opinion of what this is. Or maybe people a little bit older than that. I'm going to put this down in here on the eye. No, that stuff is getting everywhere. I gotta be more careful. I don't even want to get it all over my tarot cards. Kind of form this eyeball up so it's kind of like a boardy eye. This, I don't think it's ever going to be a mask to wear. It's just a mask to paint. And maybe it's something that I can sell at the art fair if it is interesting enough And that would be fantastic, because as it seems these days, that is my only source of income, is art sales. I'm going to take this and put it in there. Like a blanket, extending this blanket over it to build the structure up. I'm going to build up that structure so it has some substance to it. Thank you for liking the stream. And if you're new here, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Providing you like it. I don't know if you like. I have a lot of different kinds of similar content, from poetry writing to painting to crafting and to divination. And I'm going to be doing a lottery number divination this Friday night for the month of July. With lottery number divination cards that I made myself. I do have some other divination cards that I haven't really worked with for since last summer. I want to make this nose more like when I'm looking at this thing, I'm kind of seeing I'm seeing like that like a comic book villain face. Will I actually end up using all of this in one session? Maybe we want to make heavy brows. The mistake I made the very first time I did this was not doing it in a box and getting the paper mache goop all over my crafting table. It's best to minimize the amount of cleaning you have to do every time. The other mistake I made was not putting the excess paste in the refrigerator, because then I went to go use it 2 days later and it was rancid, and at least when my mask dried out, my sculpture dried ransom. So it looks gross. What happens if we do this and we tear a hole in it? I'm going to go through the other side so that it doesn't poke through. Yeah. Actually, that's kind of cool. Isn't that cool? So to pull this off, have a hole in it. Really kind of looks creepy. Halloween in July. That's what we're working on. Halloween in July. Kind of build up this area here. All right, Z. Thank you for popping in for just a few minutes. That's great. I wonder how much power I have on my phone, because that's what I'm filming this with. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciated you being here. Have a great rest of your day. All right, I'm going to so part of doing one of the things, the benefits of doing crafting is the self-care angle, the resting. Because we do have to rest in this life. There's so much pressures out there and so much things that demand our attention. Doing art, doing crafts, it's just a way to be still in the moment, be present in the moment, not in tomorrow, especially not in tomorrow. There's nothing but fear and anxiety there. Be present right now. You don't really want to be too far into the past, because sometimes the past isn't all that pleasant. It's so easy in our lives to focus on what we don't have, to focus on what so-and-so did to us, what the boss said, or what. All that stuff. All those thoughts are no good for us. Painting, crafting, dancing, which I haven't really done in a long time, are all things good for healing, for self-care, for being whole and present in the moment. Meditating, or just going outside and being in nature. Very, very important things to do. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to speed it up or slow it down. Turn the volume off. Be quiet. Be still. I need to put another layer too, because I want it to have enough thickness just in case I am to use it as a mask. It's very soupy. It's also very fun just to remember what it was like to be a child, and that's what this does. You want to just not be everything that is giving you pain, but be you in this moment. Be you in this moment. And that's what's important. I'm going to put another larger chunk on. For structure, for support. I'm going to put it right over this top. Actually, we'll put it this way. And I'll punch that hole in on that eye. Just letting that, just want the one eye. To give it structure. Layers and layers of veneer, like plywood, layering down. And I'll let this thing dry for like 2 days. 2 days. And look, you can even read a newsprint on the top. There might even be a poem there. I don't know. Oh, no! That I didn't want to happen. That was what I feared would happen. I need to clean off my hands now. I do not want maybe this is something I did not want to happen. Because see, this experience here is all about the Four of Swords. Resting away in your sanctuary, in that place you feel safe, resting from the anxieties, the swords that poke into you from the world. Taking those things and keeping them at bay, away, dispelling them from your life. And that's what we're doing right here, right now. That's what this is. This practice of crafting is the practice of pushing those swords away, pushing those anxieties away, pushing and dispelling that which makes us sick. And that's really all those fears and anxieties are. They're just things that make us sick if we dwell on them. And we need to do things in our life that push those swords away, that push them away so they do not touch us. Granted, it always is temporary because that's just the way it seems to be. We always need to push those swords away through meditation, through walking, through art, through dance, through cooking, through going to a ball game, through sports, through laying out on the beach in the sun, laying out in your backyard in the sun, soaking in the sun of the summer, as long as it is not too hot. It's not too hot right now where I am at, but it may be where you are at. So, being out in the sun may not be an option. But there are other things that can be done to keep those swords away. To keep those swords away. To keep those swords away. This is that thing that you can do if you are an artistic type of person. But even if you aren't an artistic type of person, you can do paper mache. The paste is easy to make. It is 1 part flour and 1 part water, a little bit of salt, and stir it up. Just do the hokey pokey and turn yourself about. That's what it's all about. Boom, boom. So I hope I have enough layers here. Enough layers that there's not enough layers here over the chin. So I think we'll just put a little bit more right there. I've been on about 90 minutes. So we're going to need to wrap things up for the day. Go back to my chores. Cooking for the little Chihuahua Pee-wee dog. Doing a little more gardening. Healing up my potato plants so that they will actually produce potatoes. All things that keep the swords away. Keep you in the present moment. That is what needs to be done to stay in a place of healing. This is really soupy. It's got that It's better with the glove on. Better with the glove on. This does feel cool. Maybe it'll dry up like Klingon ridges. Klingon ridges. Wouldn't that be cool? I wonder if I could do that before I... Will it stay? Paper mache ridges on the forehead. Will it stay or will it go? There was a song like that, wasn't it? Was it by The Clash? Stay or will you go? Ridges on the forehead. 1 ridge? Maybe 2? The dragon face. Dragon face. That's what this is. It's Bob Ross dragon face. Dragon facial. It's quiet. This is about the time that you might be falling asleep. Because this, you could use this as a sleep aid, you know. A ridge on the forehead. Hopefully it dries up like cement. Kind of weird. I don't think it's going to work, but you never know. It might work. But you know, it really doesn't matter because it's not really about the perfection. It's all about the imperfections of the moment. The imperfections. It's in our imperfectness is what will make it beautiful. We've got a whole lot of this glue here. We can just use this glue. Gotta make it like some ridges. Klingon ridges. I wonder if it'll stick forever and ever and ever. It makes it look like it's a mistake, huh? But you know, there really are no mistakes when you do art. It's just about the doing. That's the most important thing, is the doing. I put these in here, building up the ridges on the forehead. Maybe it needs one more right over here. If you're new, feel free to like and subscribe to the video. That is, if you see anything here that you like, or that is of value. Craft the day away. Like antennas, an alien face. I'm going to build up this spot where there might be an eye. And paper mache is a sculpturing material that is very inexpensive. Flour, water, newsprint paper if you have it. Let's just loosen, make this thing to be more pliable. The glue is getting sticky here. We've learned lots of valuable things in this life. Lots of things. Like that. Maybe we'll just fold it over a bit. Uh-oh. It's okay. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna clean my hands off. There's a siren outside. Fire truck, ambulances going by on the highway. Hopefully, it is not a serious accident. If you were here with me in my head, you might feel the stillness of this moment. The silence. The sound of the silence ringing all around. Well, I guess that didn't work very well. So I want to give it some more structure. Like this. Over this direction. Just a bit more structure. It'll be interesting to see what it is 2 days from now when I pull it off the mold. Nose. And then we'll paint it together sometime. Playing with dough, the manna in the desert, forming in the early morning and going away by noon, taking rest of your day, rest from your struggles, taking rest. All right, friends, thank you for hanging out with me today. Those of you who did, some for just a few minutes. Camille from France, that was very pleasant to chat with you for a few minutes. Care Bear Bar to the Cards, thank you for popping in. Tarot Ask Backwards, thank you for popping in. Z, thank you for popping in. I really appreciated your presence here today. Now, crafting day is over. I crafted 2 hours of my day away. This will paint on Saturday. Take some of the paper mache off just to get the texture of this whole thing. And we'll see what happens. Maybe nothing will happen, but that's okay too. After all, it's about the doing, not the perfection of it, because perfection comes later, maybe, but the imperfections is what makes it art done by human hands and not crafted by an AI chatbot art generating machine. So, thank you, thank you for being here, for liking, for subscribing if you have, and come back Friday night when we will be divining for lottery numbers, and Saturday night 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time when we will be painting again, and Sunday afternoon for the Write With Me Writing Lab at 2 p.m. on Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, and have a blessed rest of your week. Bye-bye.